Good day, bikers. Jimmy here, welcoming you to the Season 1 finale of Brits on Bikes. Not much to say, really, as today's episode will speak for itself. All we'd ask you to do is listen to the end of the show for a promo from our friends at How It Ends podcast. Now, if you were on the Twitters, you will have heard me rave on about this show before. A fantastically unsettling audio drama with an awesome cast of very real characters dealing with some spooky goings on. Finally, a quick thank you to everybody in the podcasting, Cycleverse and Brits on Bikes community who lent their vocal talents for a couple of moments in the forthcoming episode. We love you and your contributions are highly appreciated. Anyway, enough from me. It's time to reel back the tape and cue the music. You know you can't stay forever. You know that it's time for you to move on. You've checked out of your room and you hope to stop by and see the festival before it ends. You've had a grand time in the town and seen more than your fair share of the strange, wonderful and downright sinister. You're not sure how it happened, but the old lady at the shop insisted that you help her with a delivery. That was several hours ago. You gaze out of the shop window and see a burst of fireworks, and you think to yourself, well, at least the rest of the town is having a good time. Welcome to Marsh Haven. Welcome to Brits on Bikes. Folks, and welcome back to Brits on Bikes, and more importantly, this is our grand finale. It's been a bit of a slog to get here. We've detoured on the way, but episode 25 is going to be our final episode of Arc 1 and probably our final episode of 2019. So we'll be undoubtedly seeing you later on in the new year, though. So with me, as always, is Kat.
Hi.
And Eve.
Sup?
Do we want to recap before we get started?
Yeah, we should probably do that.
No worries. So, when last we left you, you were exploring the festival that had been set up at the Marsh. You played some games, won some coconuts, stroked some donkeys, rescued a rapscallion from the clutches of the community guard, and somehow have still managed to stay incognito. So when we last left you, you were hiding behind the shipping containers outside the festival. You had just sent Diane running off back to the Elysium, and you had just been joined by Nettles, who had informed you that Thistledown was on the site. What would you like to do?
I mean, I didn't hear none of that, so...
I guess I would explain to Dee that apparently Thistledown is on the site. And did Nettles give a description, or was it just she's here? I can't remember.
It was literally she's back.
Okay. So is she in disguise, or is she just kind of wandering around with a gun drawn, shooting people willy-nilly?
No, she's... I saw her near the back of the festival wearing a funny Mac.
Right. Okay. Apparently she's wearing a funny Mac.
What's that?
A Macintosh? It's a coat.
Okay. What kind of coat?
It's a trench coat.
Okay. What's so funny about it?
I don't know. Maybe it's covered in limericks. But she's behind the back, behind the stage. Should we do something?
Like over by by the fireworks and whatnot?
I guess.
We should probably do something, because she might be like sabotaging it or something to blow us all up.
Look, it might be a good idea if you were to follow me. Maybe we can track her down. Talk to her, perhaps?
Yes. Bloodhound on the case. I know you're not a bloodhound, but close enough. Lead the way.
Nettles lurches forward, like his nose points out in the direction that you go, kind of like a cartoon dog. So Nettles trots into the festival site. As you follow up behind, he says to you, Sally, I was just looking for some goodies to eat, and I saw her back here. And he leads you round the back of the food area where the big green chest freezers were, and he says she was putting something in the freezer over there.
Suspicious.
What's suspicious?
Oh, sorry. I forget that you can't hear him. She's putting something in that freezer, and that's suspicious. Because what?
Which freezer? Is it the one that's like out of order?
Yeah, it's the one that's out of order.
Oh wait. Just wanna like sidle up onto that.
Everyone knows that freezer engineers are dressed like beekeepers.
I'm taking a look around. Just looking. So, is everybody paying attention?
At the moment, there isn't anybody really about this area.
All right. Have you ever like opened something and you're really worried that it's gonna smell terrible? So you kind of like lean back and reach out and just kind of like lift it up with one finger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just reach up very carefully, just in case it like explodes or bites me or something.
Okay. Can you make a crit roll, please?
Oh no. There's a 1.
Oh.
Oh.
Is that projectile vomit directly on top of the stinky thing?
I am out of tokens too, so
Well, you've just earned yourself back a token.
Yay.
You go to open the chest freezer, and before you even get an opportunity to look at the freezer's contents, you are hit with the most revolting smell. It's a combination of festering meat and congealed dairy products. It's disgusting. It's really gross. You had no chance to see what was in there. The smell hit you. You dropped the freezer door and you puked your guts up.
Oh no, because I'm wearing 2 masks.
Oh!
Yeah, Dee's an absolute mess right now. I'm pretty sure they just tore off both the masks because otherwise they'd start drowning. So yeah, Dee's not feeling good. Oh no, that's really gross. I was not anticipating there actually being something smelly in there. I figured somebody had emptied that thing out.
Okay.
Nope, it smelled too bad.
I was just worried that there was like, I don't know, an angry cat in there or something.
So Sally, what do you do as you see Dee retching on the floor, puke kind of spilling out of the mouth hole of his deer mask?
I look down at Nettles and like, are you serious?
What was in there? I didn't see anything.
Your nose is incredibly powerful. You tell me what was in there.
It didn't smell very nice, that's for sure.
There's just, there's so much. This is like D starts doing that dry gag. Like they didn't clear it out.
I think we should leave this. Whatever she put in there, I don't think anyone's coming back for it.
What did she put it in? Oh boy. What did she put it in there? Specifically so nobody else will get it. Sally.
And I think she achieved her goal.
You have to avenge me. You gotta get it.
No!
Sally believes I can't.
Dee, can you make a charm roll for me? Sally, can you make an opposed... What is this? You're probably making a grit roll against it.
Okay.
Whoever wins.
I want to see what you get first.
I got a 9.
Yeah, no, I got a 1.
Yeah, the vomit dribbling down your mask right now is probably not very charming.
Okay, Sally, are you deciding that you don't want to look in the chest freezer then?
Absolutely not. I am leaving that well alone.
That's absolutely fine. As you are negotiating this, you hear a voice behind you. Children, you shouldn't be here. You turn around and you see Morwenna Thistledown stood behind you. She has a trench coat on. It's looking a little bit threadbare and old, and she's wearing a beret as well. Next to her is Erin, who's looking a little bit dejected, and you can see that Morwenna is holding her hand in her trench coat pocket and pointing it towards Erin. The insinuation being she's got a gun.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Cool.
See, this is why I specifically asked Nettles if she was wandering around with a gun.
I didn't see a gun.
You are not helpful.
I try.
You fail.
Yeah, they just spits. Kind of try to clear their mouth out. Freaking seriously. Thistle down. We got this. You need to get out.
Children, this is not your fight. Believe it or not, I have your best interests at heart here. This needs to be ended. And I don't see any other option.
Then what? What are you trying to do?
I'm going to make sure that Victor Wallace, nor any of his other cronies, will complete the ritual.
How?
Any means necessary.
Yeah, like with the Welland? Was that really necessary?
I know what he did to you, Dee. And that was just the first phase. How far do you think he would have taken it? He's been sucked in. Like all of them, he's buying into Victor Wallace's propaganda machine. And if we don't stop it...
They are being brainwashed too. All of them are being freaking brainwashed. We just stop the big thing. We only kill everyone else. What are you gonna do? You gonna go put a bullet through my freaking uncle's head too?
Listen, I know that my position as your teacher and as your friend and as a member of the Order has been forfeit by my actions. But that is a sacrifice that I am willing to make. Tell me, children, you never once queried where Mr. Thistledown is?
I figured you were divorced.
Oh no. I was widowed. My husband was the finest man ever to have lived. And he gave his life protecting this country from another group of people who wanted to take control, who wanted to seize power. And I swore to myself that I would never, ever see anything like it happen again. And I will do whatever needs to be done to make sure that Wallace is stopped. So I'm asking you, either you leave now or be prepared to witness some unpleasantness. Because I will not hold back. And I would prefer it if you weren't here to witness it.
That ship has sailed when you shot someone in the face in front of us. Not that I saw, but you know, it happened and I was there.
She looks at Dee. And you?
We've got a plan. We're sticking to it. You cannot interfere with it.
She looks at you, and then to Sally, and then to Erin. I will do what I can, but if it comes to it, you need to stay out of my way.
Look, straight up. If we lose, if we fail, take the shot, alright? If that's what it takes, if that's what it comes down to, take the shot. All I'm asking is that you wait for us to make our move.
No promises. And she marches off.
Well, that was productive.
Erin sighs.
This is getting worse and worse. What's been going on, children? My apologies for not catching up with you sooner.
We got Diana out of a box. Trying to kidnap her, too.
Oh, I see. Why are you covered in vomit?
Why don't you open that box and find out?
Don't do it.
She looks at the box curiously and tentatively opens it up.
Dee stumbles away quickly.
Sally, can you make a grit roll?
8.
She opens it up and she looks quite thoughtful and she goes,
Huh. Interesting.
and closes the door again.
What was it?
Are you sure you want to know?
What is it? Some guy's head or something?
Close. It's Neep.
Like groundskeeper Neep?
Yes.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
How does she sneak the whole the whole body in here?
Why didn't she go for Mrs. Neep?
Sally, you dark. You've changed.
Yeah, that wasn't really very in character, was it?
It looks like he's taken a swim in melted ice cream and frozen yogurt.
Did she just push him in and shut the door?
Well, I didn't do a full inspection. I can if he wants.
And she goes to open the...
I think maybe we should try to I don't know, wipe our fingerprints off of that real quick.
Very glad I didn't touch it.
You just take your sleeve there and wipe it. Oh yeah, I was just about to be like, oh no, I just like puked my DNA everywhere, but I was like, wait, that's not a thing yet.
Yeah, that's fine. You're good for the next like 20 years.
She wipes it down. You can see Nettles appears to be licking a dribble of ice cream that's running down the chest.
Oh, no, I'm grabbing him and pulling him very much away.
Well, nobody wants to feed me. I'm hungry. Can I have a sausage?
I can't remember if I have any money left.
I think you do, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
have
still
some
got
money
some.
left.
Yeah, you got like 60p. Well, no, 58p.
Yeah, I mean, we got like a couple burgers and some juice and what have yous.
I do have 58p. I will buy him a sausage if he will stop being disgusting and licking corpse juice.
D is shaking their masks off as much as they can. Just like, I need something to wash this off with before I put it back on, otherwise I'm gonna die.
Okay, do they have like water in the food area?
Behind the food area where you currently are, there is like a wooden stake with a temporary water pipe with a tap attached to it, like you see at campsites.
Wad. That's not a word yet. Yeah.
I think we've used many words that aren't words yet.
Oh, definitely. I say sucks, like, constantly. No, these rinse off their masks, because that's gross. Probably have to rinse off the coconut, too.
I forgot about the coconut.
You're looking pretty stained, and if you get too close,
People are gonna smell it.
you are going to be smelled, but it's definitely not as bad as it was.
I got dizzy on one of the rides, it's fine.
It's not a fair without someone having puked.
This is true. Erin pipes up.
Listen, I don't have time for pukey teenagers and hungry dogs. I'm off to keep an eye on Thistledown. Come find me if you need anything. And for heaven's sake, keep the feathers safe.
And she marches off in the same direction as Thistledown.
As you're sorting yourself out and just preparing yourself to head off to get Nettles a sausage, you hear a sound. It's the sound of what you think is the band that were playing in the march earlier.
Oh?
What do you want to do?
Where's it coming from?
Well, you can't really see anything, but you would assume that it's probably coming from the central arena area.
All right, you investigate that. I'm going to get the dog a sausage because he's very whiny.
Well, what I can say is if you go out past the back area and into the food court area, you'll be able to see exactly what's going on.
Oh, fair enough. Let's go investigate.
Well, investigating.
As you come back into the food court area, you can see the band in one corner. In the middle of the arena, you would hazard a bet at about 100 people dressed in their black community guard outfits, and they are marching. People have gathered to watch. The music playing is very military in style, and you can see the community guard members moving with precision. However, anybody under the age of 14 with a television set would tell you that the tune being played is known as the Liberty Bell.
But is also known as the theme music from Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Which is making the whole spectacle seem a little bit ridiculous.
This is another game that I'm in is devolved into Monty Python. It's universal.
Well, you know, we had the coconuts last week, so I thought, why not? So you can see them, and they're shuffling, and they're moving lines, and they're making shapes, and they're weaving in and out. Is there anything that you would like to do?
Well, I would like to throw my coconut at them, but I'm not going to do that because I feel like that might raise some suspicion.
I think you might be right, yeah.
Just a smidge.
At the moment, I'm just going to roll my eyes and buy a sausage.
Does it look like they're doing like any like particularly weird configurations, or is it just like, you know, squares and stars and circles and whatnot?
You can't really see from this position.
I mean, does it look like I could figure it out from any particular position? I guess I could ride the... Is there a Ferris wheel or something that goes high?
There isn't a Ferris wheel. In the game section, the other side of the site, there is a very simple kind of small climbing frame, but you might get enough height to have a look.
Because I'm kind of curious if they're doing some magic crap. Yeah, so I'm going to go... Wait, Sally, I'm going to go climb on that thing and try to get a little peek.
Be careful.
Nettles is noshing his sausage right next to you. Nom, 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 nom. It's good. Dee, so you make your way over to the little playground area. I mean, it's nothing spectacular. They've just erected like a couple of swings. There's a climbing frame. There's a very, very small roundabout. I mean, it's obviously not designed for someone of your size, but you can climb up it no problem.
Yeah, no, I'll hop right up on it.
You hop up. Make a grit roll for me, please.
16.
You know exactly what this is, and lesser mortals would have been very scared, but obviously you are incredibly gritty.
Very gritty.
Very gritty. You can see an inverted star being made, and it's not simply, you know, they do it once. It's they are moving, they are crossing over, they are creating a star, they're moving out and they're coming back in again, and this star just looks like it's almost pulsing. It's, you know, for a bunch of, you know, what essentially is the cast of Dad's Army, it looks pretty impressive up high. What their reason for doing it is you're a little bit unsure. But what you have noticed as well, I mean, you noticed on the way, but Mrs. Neat is circling around, blowing a whistle. She's on her horse. The whistle seems to be signalling for when they should move.
I don't have a whistle. Does Sally have a whistle?
No.
Dang. That would be useful.
It would be useful.
Now I'm in a mud pit, so I can't just throw a bunch of ball bearings down.
I do have drawing pins you could throw at people.
Yeah, the problem is that they're walking in dirt. So, I mean, just get packed down.
Yeah.
You know you two are nowhere near each other.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. I'm just trying to consider what our inventory is that we could possibly hook this up with. All right, if all of them guys are in there, I'm assuming that there's not too many out and about here.
Not really, no.
How clean of a shot would I have on Mrs. Neat with a slingshot?
She's at an elevated position. She is a moving target, but there is potential for you to hit her.
What about her horse's butt?
That would be a considerably easier target.
I think I'm gonna shoot the horse in the butt with a ball bearing.
All right then. So I'm going to ask you to make a brawn roll for this.
Ugh, bad at that. How many do I need? So I just rolled a 4 and I've got a couple tokens.
You would need a 6.
Alright, yeah, I'll spend them.
Okay.
I wanted to disrupt this stuff. I'm kind of curious if they have to start over.
Okay. Are you using a ball bearing, yeah?
Yep.
You let fly, and the ball bearing hits the horse squarely in the butt. Immediately, the horse bucks, and Mrs. Neep, hang on, let me just... Mrs. Neep, with one hand in the air, one hand on the rein, she almost loses her balance, but manages to maintain control. The horse, however, is in a bit of a frenzy and plows straight through the community guard, who all just kind of like topple and fall like, I don't know, the playing cards in Alice in Wonderland. There's general screaming and yelling from the whole festival. Everybody who's watching, and anybody who hasn't has now kind of stopped to see what all the commotion is. Nettles looks up at you, Sally, with part of a sausage in his mouth, and he says,
Oh dear Lord, can't you keep them under control?
I thought that was your job.
Dee, what do you want to do? You're still on top of the climbing frame at the moment.
I want to just slip down, disappear into the crowd.
Okay, make a grit roll for me.
Is it grit?
Yeah.
That would be an 18, like a ghost.
You effortlessly slide down the edge of the climbing frame and just continue walking and just slip into all the chaos that's surrounding you with no problem at all, and you are very quickly back to Sally's side.
I guess that was you?
Yeah, no. Normally I ain't too down to shoot at animals and whatnot. But it's a horse. It's like getting punched in the butt. I think it'll be fine.
Okay.
As you're talking, you hear a familiar voice come over the tannoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we apologise for the slight problem in today's programming.
This voice is most definitely Dickie Roberts.
We are just a few short moments away from ringing in the beginning of a new chapter of our little town. Today, we stand on the very precipice of something great. So can I invite you all to clear some room and make some space whilst we organise tonight's proceedings. We would like you all to get yourselves a glass of mead, to ready yourself for a toast to begin the ceremony.
Oh no. Jonestown hasn't happened yet, but they're lining up for the Kool-Aid.
As he says this, people have already sort of begun to sort of shuffle around. You can see that chairs are being placed in front of the stage area. It's not happening quickly. There are still people milling around at the stalls and whatnot. It's just things are starting to get set up. I mean, you would say it's around 6:45 at this point. It's not dark, but there's been a definite change to the light. You can see Dickie Roberts. He's being pushed once again by his mother in a slightly modified wheelchair, which has sort of more rugged tyres on it.
He has a large barrel of mead on his lap.
And he seems to be heading towards a small table with a huge line of small glasses on it.
You said it's 6:45, right?
Yeah.
The whole thing's supposed to kick off at around 7ish?
Probably a little bit later than that.
Okay. I don't know about you, but I think we should probably try to set up a little bit close to this thing. That way we can do our move.
Are we thinking it's going to come out from the stage or from the arena?
In my premonition, that's the word for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just kind of a big mouth that opened underneath of everything. And I'm really hoping it's not that, because then everybody's just going to die all at once. I mean, I don't know how we're supposed to hit it with the feather then, except for getting eaten.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
So, yeah, fingers crossed that was just like an exaggeration.
It was a mouth that opened everywhere.
Yeah, just like underneath of like the whole crowd.
Well, if it's the crowd, that makes it sound like it would be the arena then, rather than the stage.
Yeah, well, like you said, I don't know. Maybe it's just an exaggeration.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's that big, then we probably should just like move the Mars.
I don't know how to fly a spaceship.
Yeah, me neither. Never we could figure it out.
I don't know how to build a spaceship.
Now that's a bigger point. Alright. So in that case, what if we kind of like just set off like up off to the side of kind of both of them?
Okay.
Like halfway between, we just kind of lean our backs up against the post some, and
I mean, there's chairs. We could sit on a chair, just one at the end of the row.
Yeah, I mean, I get like, what if there's some weird magic mojo on the chair? I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty paranoid about magic right now.
I don't know. I'm kind of tired. I'd like to sit down.
There's Sally we know and love.
Yeah. Wait, yeah, let's try to set up the front.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If there is an appropriate chair, I'm going to go sit on the appropriate chair.
Although they're still setting up, you can see the general formation that's taking place. So the ropes that are closest to the stage area that make up the arena, they've been opened up and out. So the whole space has become one large space, with the back ropes indicating where the last rows are going to be. It's not quite a square, but it's that kind of idea, and there is one big aisle that leads straight through the middle.
Like a really big wedding.
Yeah, or school assembly.
I like my idea better.
Okay. Yeah. I think at this point, do you start to get nervous? And so, like, as Sally, like, steps forward to go get the chair, he just kind of, like, reaches into their pocket and pulls out that bottle of mead that strange person gave them earlier. Just gonna pop that open, down it.
You want to drink the mead?
Yeah, I'm drinking the mead.
Can you make a grit roll for me, please?
I sure can. It's a 12.
You take a healthy swig of mead. It doesn't burn, it's more of a warm glow coursing down your throat. You do get a buzz, but it's not an unpleasant feeling.
Yeah. No, it's...
Bit of Dutch courage.
Kids don't drink. That said, yeah, Dee's feeling nervous about saving the world, so...
Well, it's funny you should say kids don't drink, because you can see that the stall where Dickie has got his little setup, they're dishing out mead freely to everyone. The girls who were handing out the biscuits at the start of the day are now going around with trays and proffering these glasses to everybody in sight, and everybody seems to be taking a drink. Men, women, and children.
Yeah, like, is this a weird thing over in England?
Well, we don't. It's not illegal for kids to have alcohol unless they're under the age of 5, and it's given to them, and it's not given to them by their guardian, kind of thing. So, like, it's not like the US where it's illegal for someone under 21 to drink.
Okay, all right. So like,
it's
this
like
is
parental
like
discretion.
You know, like fucking. Oh yeah, no, they're definitely doing some weird mojo.
It's a special occasion, so the kids can have a drink, sort of a vibe to it.
Okay. I think Dee's been here long enough to ask that question at least once.
So you can see people are drinking some and then going back for more. It seems to be flowing pretty freely.
Okay.
I think at this stage I'm going to ask you, is there anything specific that you would like to do?
I'm kind of shift that little bat mod that I have, the one with like the little spike on it. I want to make sure that that's kind of, at the very least, ready to get slapped on and go.
You have a little play around with your bat mods. You decide on the spiked one, and you just slip it on. That's absolutely fine. Sally, is there anything you want to do?
I think at the moment Sally is a bit tired of terror and wants to sit down.
Okay, that's fine. Nettles nuzzles in between the two of you and gives you a little blast of euphoria.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say sausage fart.
I mean, that too, but, we're so euphoric, we don't mind.
All right. Can you both make grit rolls for me, please?
Oh, dear.
What'd you get?
I got a 2.
That's cool. I got a 1.
Oh my god, again!
Yeah, I think I might switch dice.
You can both take an adversity token.
Everything's okay.
You are just sat, just quietly talking. You can see the people moving around when all of a sudden you feel a jolt. There's no other way to describe it. It is like you have been hit by lightning. You have no means of controlling yourself. And you both let out very, very audible noises of distress. The pair of you convulse for a second. There's no hiding it. People have suddenly started rushing to your aid. If you recall, several episodes ago, you were contacted by Queen Isadora, who let you know that they were doing their best to help you. What has just happened to you is you have come under the effects of the ancient ritual of aggrandization. For the next 3 hours, you, the wearers of those pendants, will be granted +2 steps to your roll. So that isn't +2 to your roll, that is 2 steps. So your D4 is now a D8. Your D6 is now a D10. Your D8 is a D12. Your D10 is a D20, your D12 is 3 D10, and your D20 is a percentile roll. You're basically badasses. Okay, so the people begin to head over, and one of them leans in and says to you, Sally, "Hey, you all right, love? Is everything okay? What's wrong?"
I want to pretend that I was leaning back in my chair, and then it came back down on my foot, and it hurt, and that is why I spazzed out.
Make a charm roll, please.
A magical charm roll. I got a 4. That's still not good.
Well, he looks at you and he says, right, okay then. Well, it doesn't look like your friend's too good either. Can I help you, son?
No, I'm fine, I am.
What's happened to your voice? Look, somebody get the St. John's ambulance. This lad needs some help. And he goes to help you up. Look, come with me. It's all right. Look, get that mask off. You need to be able to breathe properly. And he goes to reach up and pull your mask off.
Don't touch my mask. He's dodging that.
You're dodging, are you? Okay, can you make a flight roll, please?
That would be a 25.
In the time that the guy's gotten you up,
everybody else around you has seen that somebody is trying to sort it all out and they've gone back to doing their own thing. In your attempt to dodge and not really sure what's just happened to you, not only do you slip out of the way, but it is almost like you disappear from one point to another point. It happens so quickly that the guy just looks at you and goes, "What on earth are you? What happened?"
You blinked, you dead.
The man turns around and he says, something isn't right over here.
I think that he's gonna go for a walk.
I think we should employ the runaway strategy.
Yep, let's go for it. Just a real brisk, not suspicious walk.
Yeah.
Into the crowd.
Can you both make flight rolls for me, please?
55.
Damn.
My flight is now a D percentile.
That would be a 23.
I just teleport, I think, at this point.
Sally, where are you running to?
I I'm not really sure. Whatever is the opposite direction of the thing that is scary.
So, based on where you were sat, you are the other side of the festival site, almost opposite the entrance.
Okay. But I don't want to run out of the place because that's counterproductive. So I guess back towards the food area.
Describe to me what happens.
So I just impulsively start running, and it's the kind of feeling like when you're on a really steep hill and you just lean into it and you're moving so fast that you can't really stop, because if you stop you'll fall over. So you just have to keep going, and it's like I'm moving a bit faster than my feet can handle, and I'm a bit scared, but it's like I'm a superhero, and it's all very unnerving. And I arrive in like Olympic record time at the food area, and then have absolutely no idea what to do with myself.
Okay, lovely, absolutely. All right, that's absolutely fine. D, you see Sally streak off. What happens to you?
Can
you tell us what you rolled again?
I rolled 23, so I don't think mine's quite so fanciful.
No, not really.
I think I just go really fast. There's nothing fancy to it. It's just go pretty dang fast. Like, oh, that's a fast kid.
I would say at the speed that you're going at, it's probably taken you about 8 to 10 seconds to get there. Sally, it's taken you less than half a second to get to the food court.
That's insane.
Yeah, a second D is right next to her. She's like, Sally, we might have superpowers.
Uh-huh.
What do we do?
I don't know.
Just as you say that, Sally, you just hear a... Whoa, you could have waited for me. If I knew we were coming back for food, I wouldn't have wolfed down that sausage so quickly. Oh,
we're talking.
oh sorry.
So how long is this thing supposed to last?
She said a few hours, I think she said.
Okay. What can we do with superpowers in a couple hours?
Save the world.
Well, yeah, naturally. But how?
As you were talking, the tannoy blasts go off. It's Dickie Roberts again, and he says,
Ladies and gentlemen, if you could please make your way to your seats. This evening festivities will be beginning in about 15 minutes. Be sure to have your complimentary glass of mead filled up, ready for the first toast of the evening.
Do you think we need fake mead?
I got wheel meat deals up the bottom.
Oh. Well then, do we need like glasses?
Well, look around and see if there's like a paper cup on one of the tables. Just pick it up, empty it out, and pour some in for Sally.
You know, these are not very environmentally conscious times. People are just getting their cup of mead, putting down the cup, and just going and getting another one.
So yeah, Dee just like empties the cup and pours it in there for Sally.
Second-hand cup. Lovely.
Dee takes her sleeve and just kind of wipes her rim with it.
Thanks.
Yeah, you might actually. You know what? Dee tosses that cup. It's like, you should wipe your own cup because I did throw up earlier.
Yeah, that's. I'm gonna go see if I can find a new cup.
This is what we're doing with our superpowers.
Trying to find a cup.
Are you like jacking it, or are you?
No, I'm just looking for a cup.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you find one, no problem.
Some mead, maybe? Not the tainted stuff. Might not be tainted, but it feels tainted.
Okay, you grab yourself some mead from the bottle. Are you drinking it?
No, it's a prop.
All right then. So it's starting to get pretty dark now. After your wait, whilst you were sat down, getting your superpowers, and then heading on over there, you're looking at about 10 past, 8:15. Can you make brains rolls for me, please?
Yes.
Hey, wait a minute. He's feeling smart. There'll be a 2.
You are smart.
Yeah.
I'm so smart.
Take an adversity token, please.
I got a 13.
Looking around, you can see that everybody has pretty much made their way to a seat. The men, women, and children of Marsh Haven are all now sat in rows opposite the stage. There is what you could only say, I suppose, is an excited hum around the place. A sense of anticipation. Up on the stage, you can see Mrs. Neep adjusting a microphone that's been mounted onto a lectern. You can see that Dickie Roberts is sat at the table that Butterscotch Joe was at, manning the microphone with his mother fawning over him. Is there anything you would like to do?
I'd like to try and find a seat somewhere near the stage, but not, like, closed in so we can leap into action.
I don't know if we should take a seat.
But we'll look weird if we're standing.
Yeah, but we got superpowers. We can, like, hide and stuff.
Or we can run really fast.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Hey,
Do you still have the feather?
Yeah, I was actually just about to ask you on that. Like, what do you think? Do you want to be the one, like, should I be the one that, like, bulldozes through and tries to poke the thing? Or do you want to just try to dodge your way up and poke it?
Well, I seem to be able to run really fast.
Okay, so you want me to want interference?
Yeah, and then so you can like clear the way, and I'll just bomb it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, do you slip and Sally the feather?
Okay, so Sally, you take the feather. Now, you said you wanted to get up close to the stage, is that right?
I want to be in a position where we can be poised. So, like, reasonably close, but not, like, in plain view, you know?
Make a brains roll for me, please.
14!
I don't even need to, then.
You would hazard a guess that probably the optimum space for you to be is at the back, next to the aisle.
Okay.
So that if you need to get to the front, you can just shoot straight down there. Okay?
Assuming the position.
I'll take your word for it.
You and Nettles and Dee head off to perch at the very back. There are plenty of spaces available. It looks like everybody wants to get as close as possible, as is the way with these sorts of things. So you have no problem finding seats exactly where you need them.
Mm-hmm.
After a few minutes, you hear the feedback from the tannoy, and Dickie Roberts' voice comes in.
It's time now, ladies and gentlemen. Could we please all be upstanding, raise your glasses, and take a drink for Mr. Victor Wallace.
I'll stand up and pretend to drink, but he doesn't deserve the respect.
He ain't taking a drink for this clown.
The anticipation has been building over the last few minutes, as well as, people have had more than their fair share of mead. At the point where Dickie announces Victor's name, there is an eruption of applause and people standing up and cheering, holding up their glasses and necking them. Men, women and children all drinking their mead and celebrating. At which point, a fanfare begins to build slowly from the tannoy system. A spotlight that is attached to one corner of the stage points out to the marsh, and Victor Wallace comes like a small speck in the distance, walking forward. It's like, dare I say, it's like a Jesus walking on water. It's almost like he seemingly comes from nowhere and just starts walking towards everybody.
Are there smoke machines?
There aren't, no, but you can imagine what it...
marsh gas.
There is marsh gas.
Well, look, right, I'm gonna keep picturing it how I'm picturing it right now, which is smoke machines, laser light show.
It's all Jesus Christ Superstar.
I know it's wrong, and I know he's the bad guy, but like with everything else this guy's been doing, I can't help it. This is what I'm picturing.
So the crowds keep applauding and applauding until eventually Wallace walks up some steps at the back of the stage and steps forward, and he holds his hands up in the air, and a hush begins to develop over the crowd.
Friends, thank you so much for that warm reception. It's very pleasing to see so many of you here this evening. I do hope you've had a most enjoyable day, and that you have had the opportunity to indulge yourselves on this most auspicious of occasions. And I thank you for allowing me the opportunity to lead you to the way of life you so richly deserve. Now, many of you, like myself, grew up in a generation of privilege. What's that? You don't believe me? Why, of course we were. We were privileged enough to learn the importance of asking, what can we give, rather than what can we take. Thus, it is our generation that knows there are greater things than slothful ease, greater things than safety, and more terrible things than death. Therefore, it is down to us to remonstrate to those who follow in our footsteps the bright lights of our community. The lights of sacrifice and high endeavour summoning through ordeal the soul of humanity to the sublime and the eternal. The alternatives of our age are heroism or oblivion. There are no lesser paths in the history of great communities like our own. Can we therefore doubt which path to choose? Let us tonight at this great meeting give the answer. Let us hold our head up high. Let us as one lift up our voices. Let us to London, to England, to Britain, nay, to the entire world proclaim that the heart of this town is undaunted and invincible. The reeds still challenge the winds of destiny, as sure as these fires will burn. Marsh Haven will not die. Our town is very much alive, and we dare to be proud, perfect, and pure.
Very suspicious anytime anyone wants something to be pure.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the beginning of a new world for us. Tonight, a new order enters Marsh Haven. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to light the fires.
On his signal, you can see that there are a couple of community guard members holding flaming torches, and the bonfire and the sculptures in each corner of the festival site burst into flames.
This does sound pretty cool.
I mean, like, yeah, I'd be having a good time at this show, you know. A couple beers in me, a couple cocktails. I'd be having a blast. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd still be talking about all the fascism.
The sculptures erupt into flames, and behind Victor Wallace, you can just see a couple of figures darting away in the distance, as you can see, like, fuses are beginning to be lit as well. And fireworks shoot up into the air. And there is a collective ooh and ah from the crowd as these fireworks begin to go off.
Why somehow it's so cool gotta be getting done by it?
Can you make brains rolls for me?
Sure can. This is a thing that I'm moderately okay at. W2.
I got a 14 again.
Okay.
I want to roll above my normal.
D, you get an adversity token.
Fine,
Sally,
I'll stock up on them.
Sally, you get the feeling that the fireworks seem to be getting kind of almost faster and faster. They like the synchronization seems to be speeding up a little bit, and you can see almost like a pattern beginning to emerge in these lights. The other thing that you notice is that the oohs and ahs of the crowd have begun to get a little quieter as well. People are still smiling and pointing and looking excited about the fireworks, but there is definitely a more subdued feeling to the experience. Victor Wallace continues and he says, "With the eruption of these fires and the display of these lights, let our new world begin." All of a sudden, the 4 sculptures and the bonfire erupt with fire. It goes into 4 large columns into the air and then comes in to the middle to meet above the crowd and the stage and the area where you are. And as the 4 columns of light hit one another, there is a huge... All of a sudden, you can see an inverted star floating above the crowd. It's very high up. It looks very, very beautiful. It looks very, very pretty. And you can see
Very impressive.
look, people are looking amazed at this incredible sight. And Wallace turns to the crowd and he says to them, "Let this be the sign. Let this show to you that this marsh, our marsh, will always be in our hearts." And from the sides, we see Dickie Roberts, Mrs. Neep, we see Mr. Cups, and we see Uncle Tommy begin the chant. The marsh is in our hearts. The marsh is in our hearts.
Oh, this isn't good.
Soon, the crowd begins to do the same thing.
The marsh is in our hearts. The marsh is in our hearts. The marsh is in our hearts. The marsh is in our hearts.
The marsh is in our hearts.
The marsh is in our hearts. The marsh is in our
Make brains rolls for me, please.
I'm okay at those.
Come on, D. Oh,
I got a 4, but because I have a D8, it doesn't explode.
I got a 7.
Both are fine for this. You can hear there is a very distinct uniformity to the way in which the crowd is chanting.
You look up to the front. 2 more figures have come onto the stage. To Wallace's left is Mrs. Neep, holding Veronique Credule. Veronique seems very passive, almost sedated.
And to Wallace's left is Cups and Uncle Thomas, holding Seamus Cole by the arms. Cole is not looking quite as sedated as Veronique, and he looks at Mr. Wallace and he says, What is this? Why are you doing this? I don't understand. What's happening? Why are they holding me?
Make them let me go. I've got no level in politics. Make them let me go.
And Wallace, from the robe which he is wearing, produces a knife.
Sally, I don't think I can see here. I think we should stop this.
You can see Seamus's wide eyes, and a dark patch of urine begins to spread across his trousers.
Sally. God damn it. D gets up and is gonna charge the stage.
Make it real good.
Full on charge up there and shoulder check. What am I rolling for it?
Yeah, it'll be a flight.
5, 7, and 8. So
20.
yes, 20.
For the record, while this is happening, I'm going to be looking around wildly to see if Mr. Sedan is anywhere visible.
Okay.
Because Sally needs an adult.
D, you stand up and you begin charging at the stage. You manage to shove Seamus out of the way. At the same time, Mrs. Neat produces a knife of her own and slits the throat of Veronique Credule.
Oh, come on.
A crimson line appears at her throat. She doesn't even really respond. She remains almost completely sedate as she drops dead. What do you want to do?
I want to take my bat and take that little spike end and just drive it right through Neep's knee, just to drop her.
Can you make a fight roll for me then?
I'm super excited to hit this lady's murder. I'm way more excited to do that than I thought it should be. Hey, that is a 19.
Oof, good.
Into a leg, was it?
Yep. I want to just pretty much just jam that spike right underneath of her kneecap.
Okay.
Just wreck that leg.
An almighty howl rings out as your bat connects and the spike embeds itself into Mrs. Neep's kneecap. Seconds later, you hear a crack and the back of her skull explodes and what's left of her crumples to the floor. A bullet wound is clearly visible in the middle of her forehead. It appears Mrs. Thistledown has joined the party. You look in the direction you think the bullet has come from, but you see nothing.
Sally, you can see all this happening, and you notice that around you, nobody's moved. They continue to chant, and the chant has begun to get louder and louder. The marsh is in our hearts. The marsh is in our hearts.
Oh, this is not good.
D, in the time that you have taken to smash Mrs. Neep into the leg, Mr. Cups has pushed a knife into the back of Seamus Cole's neck, and he now lies straddled on the floor. Wallace looks over at you and he says, "What, do you think you can stop this? You think I haven't prepared? I told you, chaos would reign, boy. Chaos will reign."
Can I interrupt him real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to whip my through swing, just hit him in the head with the blunt end of the bat.
Okay.
Just whip around and crack him right in the face.
roll fight for me, please.
While Dee's doing that, I'm gonna run up to give backup, even though I'm not very fighty.
Nope. That's a 3, but I have got.
I just rolled a 99 for running up there, so can
Jesus Christ.
can I help? Just run headlong into Wallace.
I mean, I'll take the help.
Hang on.
Yeah, I rolled a 3. I've got some tokens I can spend on it. It's I want to give this guy the mother of all shiners right now.
D, before you have even swung back with your bat, you suddenly see Wallace on the floor and Sally stood over him, looking more surprised than anybody.
I was imagining that I would have gone over with him, because I just kind of tackled.
Okay, yeah, so, Sally sprawled out on the floor. Wallace is on the floor as well. He looks relatively unharmed and just lies there laughing.
You look like you needed help? What's happening?
Sally, get the feather waddy. And these just you bashing people with the bat.
Wallace gets up and he looks at his acolytes next to him, and he looks at the people in front of him, and he says, "It's people like this that will destroy your world, our perfectly crafted society. We must prevent that from happening. Do you understand?" And people begin to lurch forward and start to edge towards you. You have the whole town headed towards you. What do you want to do?
I want to make Victor look stupid.
Pull his trousers down.
I was gonna just smash a coconut over his head. You know what's better than smashing a coconut over his head? It's taking that coconut, tossing it straight up, and just batting it right into his head.
You are good at baseball.
I am good at baseball.
I think that's going to be a brawn.
Oh, boo. But do I get my +3 to it?
Yeah.
Sweet. 8. And I've got an 8. I will add up to 5 tokens to make this happen.
Yep, okay.
How many I gotta add?
I'll let you do it.
Oh, for just the 8?
Yep. The ball goes up into the air. The coconut goes up into the air, and you let fly. Because you've still got the spike on your bat, it goes straight through the coconut, splits it in half, and coconut milk is spilled all over Victor Wallace.
Not my intended. I forgot about the spike.
Hands are now upon the pair of you, and they have pulled you off from the stage, and they are pawing and clawing at you and pushing you away from Victor.
I'm wearing a poncho thing. Can I throw off the poncho thing and to get away?
You can. This is a brawn roll, I think.
Okay.
Because you're trying to get people off you as well.
Yeah. That's a 9, but I can add up to 4 adversity tokens.
9 would be enough to shake
Okay.
the people off. You'd be able to push them aside, and you would begin to scramble through people. There are others coming on top of you now. D, you are in the fray. Wallace is up on the stage watching the whole thing, and suddenly there is a low rumble from beneath the ground. What do you want to do?
Well, these folks are being magically influenced, right? As far as I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And I was told that salt works good up against magic, and I just happen to have some salt in my pocket.
So you do.
I just want to start, like, taking this salt, just shaking it all around me. And I know this probably won't, like, break any of the magical spells happening, but I'm kind of hoping that it might get into their eyes and get them to let go.
Oh, that would hurt.
Okay, so make a brawn, I guess, because you're throwing, aren't you?
It's not throwing. It's more of a targeted strikes.
There's nothing targeted about throwing handfuls of salt at people.
I know, use brawn. See, Jimmy, this is why I didn't want to use brawn. I got a 3.
Oh.
The people are still clambering and pouring at you. They continue with their chant, "The marsh is in our hearts, the marsh is in our hearts." Over the top of the chant, you can now hear Victor Wallace saying what you can only assume to be some kind of incantation. The bodies of Seamus and Veronique lie on the floor, a large pool of blood gathering on the stage, and all the while the slow, deep, low rumble is building and building and building. Despite their concentration on their chant and on getting to you, it is beginning to throw people off. They are losing their balance a little bit. So you are able to some degree break free.
Can I use flight to wriggle and dodge?
Yep, you can roll flight.
Because that is my really good one. Oh, it's only a 28. Only. That's my really good one now.
Yeah, I keep trying to get back to the stage, so yeah, like, the second I see it opening, I'm trying to gun it.
Sally, where were you headed exactly?
Does the rumbling seem to be coming from any particular direction?
Underneath you.
Okay, in that case, I'm just going to head towards the stage, which is theoretically away from the bulk of the crowd.
Okay, so you head towards the stage. D, you're in the same place. They're all heading towards you. Victor has lost his concentration on you two and is purely focusing on this, what you can only assume to be an incantation. Sally, you hear... Sally, I might need some... help! Sally!
Oh no, where's Nettles?
You can't see him. You can hear him, but you can't see him.
Where are you? Nettles!
Sally, they keep... Ow! Get off me! Sally, what's going on? Can you come and get... I'm scared.
Well, I don't know where you are. Where are you?
There's people everywhere.
Yeah, I know. That's why I can't see you.
I can't... D, what are you doing?
D has no idea what's going on with that. So, yeah, D's gonna keep trying to press her to the stage. Like, just gotta take out, like, get him to stop. So, yeah, D's pressing forward to just nail this freaking, Wallace.
Okay, can you make a grit roll for me, please?
So yeah, I can make a D100 with that finally.
Yay!
It'd be a 63.
Oof. so gritty.
Very gritty.
In that instant, the rumbling increases tenfold, and all of a sudden, the ground begins to vibrate. It knocks the majority of the townspeople on the floor. Sally, you can now see Nettles scrabbling through, looking a little bit shocked and distressed himself.
Can I grab him? What would I have to do to grab him?
You would need to get into that crowd to grab him.
Okay, I want to grab him.
Okay, I'm going to leave you there because I'm just with D this second.
Okay.
So D, with that gritty roll, you managed to retain staying upright. You've got your feet planted firmly on the ground, and you instinctively act against the vibrations and the rumbles and the movements. Everybody else is pretty much on the floor. What do you want to do?
I've got my direction. I know where I'm going. I'm going straight for Wallace. I want to drop him. I got to stop him chanting.
Okay. All right. I'll come back to you in a sec. Sally, you want to get Nettles? You're going to need to make a flight to get in there and grab him.
Okay. Come on, luck. 51.
Without even thinking, you shoot forward, grab Nettles, and kind of overrun, because now you are right at the back of the festival site. As you turn around, you can see D is going for Wallace, and you can see the townspeople beginning to stand up again. The rumbling continues. D.
Yeah, no, haven't made it back on the stage.
Yeah, you're up at the stage.
Yeah, alright. Yeah, no, I want to rush forward and I want to just brain this guy.
Okay, make a fight roll for me.
By brain him, I don't mean use the spike end.
Okay.
Shockingly not to the murder point yet. Oh, god damn it. Why do I keep rolling? That is a 5. I do have 5 tokens available.
You take a swing at him. You manage to hit him on his side in the arm. Unbelievably, though, he barely even registers. He's almost in a trance-like state now, focused solely on this incantation.
Well, if the issue is him talking, I do have something for that. Because currently on my tool belt, I do have a roll of duct tape.
Several rolls of duct tape.
Well, I only brought one with me.
Okay.
The rest are back home.
So you want to duct tape his face?
Like I just rip off a huge chunk and just like slap it.
Okay. You go to step forward, and as you do so, you get the duct tape on his face, but you realise that his eyes are beginning to glow as well.
Oh, god damn it. Don't not make me freaking kill you.
There is a huge tearing sound. Sally.
Uh-oh.
Oh, crap, wait.
You look in front of you.
I think I realize what's happening.
You can see that the ground is beginning to break open.
Oh no.
There is a hot red gaseous light bursting forth the grounds. People are already beginning to slip over. People are they're not running. They continue with their chants, and just when they fall, they just seem to get straight back up again. And the ground tears open a little bit wider, and you can see now that people are beginning to fall into the gaps. People that you recognize. There are children from the school. There are shopkeepers. You can see local parishioners, community guard members spilling into this giant crevice. And all of a sudden, a hand reaches up from out of the ground. A bulbous, rocky, gargantuan hand. And it raises up into the air. It's bigger than anything that you have ever seen before. It is enormous.
Wallace chants faster and faster, his eyes lit up as he gazes upon the hand, a look of reverence and ecstasy on his face. He stretches out his arms as if to embrace the hand, which moves closer and closer, enveloping the man. The fingers close round the would-be warlock, and with a sickening squish and crunch, Wallace is crushed by the hand. The trunk-like thumb and forefinger rub slowly together, creating a fleshy, fatty ball of organs and bones that the hand flicks into the air and out over the marsh. And then, from the ground, from the very jaws of the Boggoth, comes an ear-splitting roar. And the whole floor begins to open up. People are spilling into the hole. The bodies of Veronique, Seamus and Mrs. Neep fall lifelessly off the stage and into the chasm. And you can see bursts of fire as what look like teeth begin to emerge, and a wide gaping maw pushes itself up from the ground. What do you want to do?
Alright, so I'm standing there and I'm holding Nettles and I'm looking at this horror.
Sally?
I was like, just give him a hug and a little kiss and just drop him.
Sally, what are you doing?
Pull the feather out of my pocket.
Sally, I don't think that's a good idea.
And you're like, okay. And then I have to run.
Sally! Okay, roll flight.
Very fast. 91. That's very fast.
It's practically instantaneous.
Like, I'm not even looking. I'm just holding this feather out and I am sprinting.
D, you are looking at everything that is going on. You can see Sally in the background, slightly away from where all these fissures are beginning to take shape.
I imagine, like, things are going very, very downhill for me because I was right in the middle of that mess. And by downhill, I mean probably literally starting to slide into it.
Absolutely. I'm going to need you to make another grit roll to see if you can keep your footing.
I can do that. Let's see if I can roll a 1. No, that's a 91.
Despite everything getting very uneven, despite things screaming and shouting, despite the fact that a gargantuan hand has just flicked Victor Wallace into outer space, you have managed...
Team Rocket on.
You have managed... Hell yeah. You have managed to keep your footing. And you can see Sally now at the back of the festival site with the feather in her hand.
I think Dee's just seeing her run forward, and this is worse than Dee was expecting. And it's just like, no, Sally, no, run, just run away.
As you're screaming for Sally to run away, you can see all the people around you are now slipping down the throat
of this mouth that's pushing itself up out of the ground.
You see Skip, you see Tony, you see Colin.
Is there anyone in arm's reach that I can grab and keep from falling?
There are people nearby, but their eyes are dead. They're still in that catatonic state that they were in when they began chanting.
They're not reaching out to you.
Oh, I know. I'm just like, if I have to grab a shirt, I grab a shirt.
You grab hold of a random person, you don't even see who they are, and you hold on to them. It's easy for you to do so, but you could risk losing your footing.
Worth it. I take the bat and I slam the spike into the ground.
Okay, you hold fast. Sally, where did you want to be when you made your roll?
I literally just wanted to be within touchy range. So I'm just running to the nearest appendage that I can tickle lightly with a feather.
Okay, at that speed, you could almost certainly get to the arm, which is still in the air. And as you do so, you touch the feather to the arm, and the arm is close to the stage. And just for a second, you manage to turn and lock eyes with Dee. Can you both make grit rolls for me, please?
Yeah.
Oof, that's a 2.
Oh no. That would be a 62.
Can I turn my 2 into a 7 with all of my adversity tokens?
Yes, you can.
Yay. I don't know if that'll actually help.
I'm going to say it does.
Yay!
Okay, so it happens very, very, very quickly. You both In this instant, look out to the town of Marsh Haven, and just for a nanosecond, you see a flicker. It's almost like, when somebody cuts just one cell of a film into another film, like subliminal messaging. It's like that. And just for a very, very short second, you see some rather unusual buildings take the place of the buildings that you know and love in Marsh Haven. You think you see a castle, and you think you see a pyramid, and you think you see small huts on stilts. And it's for a nanosecond, because the moment, Sally, you touch the Boggoth, you feel as if you are both everything and nothing. There is a blinding light, and you feel like you yourselves are the marsh. You are the reeds. You are a slightly eccentric-looking school. You're an empty swing drifting in a distant playground. You are a long-forgotten bunker and a decrepit paper mill. You are the little girl who everyone ignores and the young lady who fights for her beliefs. You are the lonely boy, and you are the strong, proud woman. You are Marsh Haven. And then nothing. D, can you make a grit roll, please?
Yeah. It's an 83.
You haven't got your superpowers anymore.
Oh, okay. In that case, it's an 11.
You can hear a repetitive ringing noise. It's really bugging you.
Like a phone.
No, it's a bit more shrill than that. It's a bell.
Are my eyes open?
Not at the moment, no.
Don't really want to open them, but I figure probably ought to be time, so I'm gonna do that. Just one of them, just in case it's really terrible.
All right, you open your eyes and you find yourself lying in bed. Nettles is asleep at your feet. All looks as it should be.
He jumps up and throws up their fist, looking around, paranoid.
At your jumping up, Nettles raises his head and then plops it down again and puts his paws over his eyes and goes back to sleep.
Okay. Am I dead? Oh wait. I'm assuming I'm Uncle Tommy's house.
Yeah, you're in your bedroom.
Is my bat in here?
It is.
We'll pull on a pair of pants, my shirt, and grab that bat. What about my cap?
Cap's there.
Pop that on because that's important. Very cautiously step out the door and go downstairs. Very, very quietly, sneaky like.
Okay. You go downstairs. You get to the door. Are you opening?
Yeah.
You open the door into the small sort of kitchen area, and you can see Uncle Tommy sat at the table.
Dive back in through the door.
D, is everything okay?
Maybe.
What? Look, what are you doing? You're going to be late for school at this rate. Come on, hurry up. Do you want some toast?
No, I'm good. What happened at that fair thing?
What do you mean?
That thing that Wallace was holding?
Who's Wallace?
What is today? Like, what's the date?
It's Monday, of course. It's time for school. Come on.
That ain't right. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go get my stuff.
Okay, make sure you look presentable.
Yeah. Dee's gonna go upstairs, grab their bag, and go out the window.
Okay, no problem. So you jump out the window. Where are you going?
Straight to Sally's.
Okay, you head on over to Sally's house and you knock on the door.
Knock on the door, very fast and very loud.
The door opens and stood there is a woman that you have never seen in your life.
Who are you? With Sally. Move. Dee's gonna try to push past her.
Excuse me, what on earth do you think you're doing?
What are you talking about? I'm looking for Sally. What are you, like her grandma or something?
How very rude. I've no idea who Sally is. Clearly you've got the wrong house.
Dee steps back out and, like, looks at the house again and looks at the numbers. Like, no, I freaking don't. Where's Sally? Quit screwing around, all right? Ain't got time for this.
And I've told you there is no Sally living here. I have lived here for the last 8 years.
No. No.
Goodbye. And she slams the door in your face.
Wait. Oh, come on, not again.
You never made it to the festival. In fact, you begin to doubt whether there was a festival at all. You find yourself back in your room. Your bag is packed and you're ready to go. Except it's no longer Saturday. It's Monday. You've been here long enough not to question the quirks and oddities of the town, but even by its standards, this is strange. You take your bag and leave your key, filled with a sense that something is different about the town that, for a while, you called home. Folks seem to be going about their day, and some even give you a nod of recognition. Passing the school, you see a new addition. Along the Great Wall of Anna Kingsford Comp, you notice that someone has painted a mural. Where there was once bare brick, a fantastical town now resides. A fairy tale castle and a great fountain of chocolate. There are folks of all colours, shapes and sizes walking or flying along the cobbled streets. Mismatched buildings litter the landscape that is framed beneath the arch of a perfect rainbow. One building catches your eye. A pretty thatched cottage and a garden full of roses. In front of the cottage, on a porch swing, sits a woman smiling, and nuzzled up against her, a young girl waves at some children flying on a giant bee. You don't know why, but the girl seems familiar. Even the brown satchel at her feet and the decorative feather in her hair cause a flicker of recognition. Smiling to yourself, you straighten up and continue on your way. Sad to be finally saying goodbye to Marsh Haven. Brits on Bikes will return.
A year ago, Micah Jones set out to record a podcast about her recurring nightmares.
All she wanted was to finally get some sleep.
Instead, unnerving coincidences began to pile up, and someone from her past resurfaced to recount a story that upended her world.
Now she and her friends are determined to discover the truth, even if it costs them everything. Find How It Ends on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever else you get your podcasts.